man. Yeah. It is 9:58 Central Time. WrestleMania Night 2. WrestleMania Sunday is officially a wrap. And man, before we even get into the show for real, I just want to say shout to us. Shout to the First Black Champ podcast, the most accurate prediction show you're going to find in the world of professional wrestling. All right. Hey, man, you know what we're here to do. Talking conventionally about wrestling and about what we just saw. Let's get right into the First Black Champ podcast. I'm still the pick, the longest reigning anywhere now. Hey, Camp from the port.
Yo, and I am JR Bang. We not even going to hit you with the rate, like, subscribe, all of that. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to follow. But y'all already know what just happened right here on WrestleMania 40. The story is finished. It is finally finished. Long-term storytelling at its finest. Cody Rhodes, your new WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. A lot of shit went on that match. A lot of it's bloodline rules, so it didn't necessarily go down like some of us may have thought it was going to go down. Maybe you thought they was already going to be there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And this shit was just going to happen. But it was pretty much one-on-one for most of the match until shit started hitting the fan. And then Jimmy Uso comes out, lil bro, brings him back to the back. Solo comes up in there. When Solo came through, shit got a little bit nervous. Shit got a little bit weird. Weird right there, Camp. But as I had told y'all in the predictions, hey, don't worry, because John Cena is coming. The Rock comes in and say, no, hell no. And he beats up small John Cena because now we see how small John Cena is compared to The Rock. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I was like, oh, he's smaller now. All right. Even though he was one of my people, still the surprise of the night, The Undertaker putting The Rock in his place. I thought it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. I was waiting for the glass to break, and he ain't going to front. I'm still waiting on the glass to break. but it turned out to be The Undertaker putting The Rock in his place. And then, wow. What are your thoughts on the main event of the evening, the main event of WrestleMania 40?
Man, the main event, speaking solely on the main event, after last night, I was like, yo, this officially ain't going how I think, but let me just stand my ground, right? You're right. I expected the entire bloodline to come out the gate or either meet Roman at the ring. So when we get past the intros and they really starting it off solo, I was like, oh, okay, this is all right. I'm here for this. And then once bloodline rules was in effect, which is basically no disqualification, no count out. That's really what it started off with, right? That's basically what bloodline rules are at this point. And I was like, hey, well, Roman is still just going to win as clean as possible because it's just him doing whatever he wants to Roman Reigns. But to speak solely to the match, honestly, this is better than last year. I say better than last year because we got more of an actual match between Roman and Cody, which I think we kind of got robbed of last year. And then like Solo basically ending the match was super cheap. I think now with all the moments and spots and segments that happen, I think we still got a very quality ending to the match and the story, which at the end of the day, that's the big W. So I can't front. I'm pleased. Wasn't my pick, but I'm pleased.
Okay. I am shocked, honestly. I'm not shocked that the story was finished. Because, since the Royal Rumble, I've been saying, like, no, this story is finished. This story is over. So, not even tripping about that. I'm just shocked how good it actually finished. The finish was actually, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
like it hit on all cylinders. Everything worked the way that it was supposed to, and I really want to shout out The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins too for the pivot. Like, look, let's be real. A lot of us was wondering how this was going to go.
Yeah.
We was wondering how this was going to go with the whole thing about it being Rock Roman Reigns, and if this was the right thing to do here, and now everybody's a Cody crybaby and all of that stuff. Everybody was talking about that shit, and and it's like, look, sometimes you just got to let the story rock.
For sure.
And not only did they let the story rock, it pivoted, and I think the way this ended tonight was a perfect ending to a story that, if you've listened to this podcast, like if you just listened to this podcast specifically, you could just go back to one of the first things we talked about. One of the first things we talked about was how Cody Rhodes is going to leave the WWE. And I famously had my prediction that as soon as Cody Rhodes married Brandy Rhodes, I was like, yo, he's not going to be in this company much longer after this, y'all. Don't ask me why, but hey, give it 2 more years. He's not going to be here. And it was damn near the anniversary to the day that I first mentioned at the camp that Cody Rhodes asked for his release. We've also said on this podcast, like, I'm not going to say this for anybody else, because this goes even before people doing regular podcasts when it comes to wrestling. But I could tell you 2 people that follow wrestling heavy that said that Cody Rhodes is a future world champion. That's us.
Yeah.
Like, we've been saying that what happened today was going to happen years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't think that the detour was going to happen, but this is for us long-term storytelling at its finest, because everything happened and everything came off right. It didn't come off corny. The ending hit the landing, and congrats, Cody Rhodes, your new Universal Champion. Now, let's go to Roman and The Rock real quick. Like, it's clear that Roman's about to take a break. And that is clear. Roman, how long before we see Roman Reigns back in the WWE?
Man, I would venture no earlier than SummerSlam, but at the same time, I'm almost willing to push it out to the Royal Rumble. I'm almost willing to push it out that far. A lot of things have transpired here in the last 48 hours of wrestling, with night 2 of WrestleMania 1 being by far way better than night 1, night 2 being better than night 1. And there's so many more stories to tell with just tonight. So now, creative doesn't really need anything for Roman Reigns at this point. He can go rest and recoup. Seth Rollins can rest and recoup. A lot of resting and recouping can be done with the stories that got ended and restarted today. That's the other very interesting thing about all of this. Cody winning the title tonight, not only does it finish his story, but it finishes Roman Reigns as well. The bloodline story is officially a wrap, because now that was supposed to be the strongest bloodline ever, and they lost. They lost at WrestleMania. So I look at that and say, well, man, Roman Reigns can go home and check on his pops and continue to get in the best shape of his life, because he hasn't looked that great since he was probably 28.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm saying SummerSlam at the earliest, because that's kind of the unsung PLE that is Roman Reigns' house. SummerSlam is low key his house, even though he's now the person that has main evented the most WrestleManias. Don't sleep on him at SummerSlam. His record is pretty ill at the same time.
Man, Roman Reigns was the champ for how many days? 1,300? 1,366 or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Man, look, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Roman Reigns until Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Like, it would not shock and surprise me that as long as, now hear me out here, Camp, as long as they don't Ultimate Warrior the situation, and what I mean by that is break the glass, we need Hogan.
Yeah.
I don't think we see Roman Reigns until at least Royal Rumble 2025 as a surprise entrant. You got to give Roman his credit, and you got to give Roman his rest. They even came out this week, that, I mean, once a cancer survivor, you're always battling cancer, right? It's cancer is in remission, but it even came out, during the scrum last night about how he still make sure that he has to take the medication every day of his life. So even though his leukemia is in remission, he got to take some shit every day, fam.
Yeah.
So you also got to look at how they said during the pandemic he was done. Like he didn't plan on coming back. He was done.
Yeah.
So he was convinced to come back, and by coming back, he wanted to come back on his terms. This is his terms.
Yeah.
So if this is his terms, what is the reason for Roman Reigns to come back?
Man,
let's first of all, if you listen again, and you know me, I only talk about what is said.
Right.
If you talk about what is said, it's very interesting that all of these things will come up this weekend.
Yeah.
And that's why it convinced me that the story for Cody Rhodes will be finished. But hearing about the regimen and things of that nature that Roman Reigns had to do to compete, and then you add that to the fact that he was champion for over 1,300 days, there's no reason for him to come back. So if there's no reason for him to come back, then SummerSlam is just too early for me. August 3rd is kind of close when it's April. April 7th.
Yeah,
so
April 7th.
If Roman Reigns come back, and let me just say this, if Roman Reigns come back, it would not shock me and surprise me that we won't see this man until the Royal Rumble, because now he gets to rest. And also, I don't think Cody Rhodes is Hulk Hogan, ladies and gentlemen. I think Cody Rhodes is Hulk Hogan. I think Cody Rhodes is John Cena. I think Cody Rhodes is Roman Reigns. But the interesting thing that I'm going to throw out at you is that it just don't feel like Roman Reigns is about to go on an extended break. It feels like, to me, Seth Rollins as well is about to go on an extended break. So what does starting tomorrow, Raw Monday, tomorrow's going to be, it's going to be a big, big moment at a time that they need it, because the national championship is on tomorrow, UConn versus Purdue. So they're going up against competition tomorrow. So I ask you, what does the world of the WWE look like post Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, seeing that they're going to be taking extended breaks?
Well, it looks fine. And I know that's crazy to say, but I mean, look at today. Just look at today. Like, hey, listen, man, predictions is one thing, but the pop for Damian Priest cashing in, top of the show, and seeing the Judgment Day still intact, that's very telling to me, because now they got two world champs in that faction. The first time we'll see this, too. The first time we'll ever see two world champs in one faction.
I mean, unless you want to count the McMahon, like was that the McMahon Hemsley era?
Oh
You counting
yeah.
that?
Nah,
Is
he
we
wasn't
counting the
allowed.
women's championship at that time?
No, the one that women's championship wasn't the one that Rhea held. I'll tell you
Okay, I was
that. I'll tell you that one.
just one.
CM Punk obviously revealing that he's not as hurt as we thought he was.
What I tell you, well, when he took and we gonna get to the matches in a second, but when he took the other matches in a second, but when he took the shit off, I was like, yo, if this prediction comes true, like if I know yours is, it looks like yours is gonna come true because he's there too long. Drew is there too long.
Yeah.
But when he took the thing off his arm, I was like, oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah,
so you got, hey, main event Jey Uso is still a thing. And he didn't do anything positive to affect the bloodline tonight. Drew McIntyre still has some get back now. Again, a new story to develop with him. Cody's going to SmackDown. I know that's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, just in case y'all were wondering, hey, Cody, he'll probably be at Raw, but that's the last time he gonna be at Raw. He is officially on SmackDown. LA, it's LA Knight, AJ Styles. Like, there's, even though it's not to say that the last was 2014, the last 12 years, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have not been needed. It's not to say that, but it's just like, man, I checked out Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame induction speech, and I totally get what he's saying now with what's happening here. There are so many legit superstars that exist in the WWE right now that they can actually afford to lose to, even if the two have to be some of the longest run, most entertaining, and dominant champions of the last 10 to 12 years. They're still good. That is a machine working overtime. So, although, obviously, we're going to miss Seth Rollins, we're going to miss Roman Reigns. Like, to say that the company would be in peril or in danger, like if this was like 88 and Hogan and Bobby Heenan decide to leave, it's like, oh,
and left it to Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, it's like, yo, we got to boost up Lord Alfred Hayes, and who now? It ain't gonna be one of those. And respect to Lord Alfred Hayes too, by the way. But I'm just saying, you were never Bobby Heenan, and you we don't live in that world anymore. The WWE doesn't operate with the top guy being the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grew up in that time where it was the champ and everybody else. But now, look, star-studded weekend events. You know what I'm saying? Like, the WWE will be fine. We won't forget either gentleman, and that will make the return even sweeter.
Yeah. Especially when I look at or listen to Paul Heyman's speech, and he talk about people like Braun Breaker. Yeah. Like, I can already see like what's next for Paul Heyman. Well, Braun Breaker, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I can already see Paul Heyman being the advocate for Braun Breaker, and this is not going to be like the advocate of Mr. Perfect Son. Totally different things. Like, yeah, no.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised. This is somewhat of a guarantee. I wouldn't be surprised if Paul Heyman starts a faction and it starts with Braun Breaker. I'm paying attention to his
get his Dangerous Alliance back on.
Yep. That's literally what I see. That's what I foresee. He got his eyes on a few people, and he said a few names. I was like, you know what? If you put them all together, man.
Yeah, just from an NXT standpoint, because now that WrestleMania is over, you can start to have the conversation about who's going to get called up to the main roster, and Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Braun Breaker are at least three people. Does Baron Corbin, the resurgent Baron Corbin, stay in NXT? Does he come up with his tag team partner, Braun Breaker. You have the women. Tiffany Stratton is already up there. So, you got that along with Bailey, a resurgent Bailey. That match for her and Io Sky was, we got to give that match some love too. Right there. You got the Judgment Day, and them having the main titles on Raw. And then you have Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Like, just those two names right there. Now that Gunther does not have the Intercontinental Championship, I told y'all this last year. I told y'all this after the Royal Rumble last year. You can pencil that match down, and I'm there for it. When Gunther and Cody Rhodes fight each other for whatever belt is going to be, oh my goodness, it is going to be match of the year candidate. So I think because of that, I truly believe that you could go take your break. Seth, go be a family man. You, Becky, y'all spend time with your daughter. Y'all been on the road and everything. No, you go be a family. Roman, you go chill out and relax. Job well done. It's finished. Your story might be finished. It might not be finished, but go relax. Job well done. Cody Rhodes, I truly believe, is prepared to put the company and the machine on his back. Before we get to any other the matches, though, this was Paul Levesque weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It is let's make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
If this weekend was not just about finishing the story, this weekend was about putting over Paul Levesque. Do you believe that the WWE went too far, did too much to show that this is the Triple H Paul Levesque era?
No, because of the way the internet and cancel culture and stupidity works. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, a lot of dumbasses exist. So, people were dying and people are dying to make sure that every chance they get, they could bring up Vince McMahon, shit on the WWE at the same damn time if possible. So for everybody to really step forward and say, hey, this ain't that. He's not in control at all. This is the guy now. Like, I think it was super important because, again, just like casual wrestling fans, look, we know how casual wrestling fans work. How many times in your just adult life alone, when you say, hey, yo, I'm about to watch WrestleMania, or I'm about to check out the Royal Rumble, or any of the pay-per-views that people recognize, it was like, oh, wrestling still come on? Oh, I remember wrestling. I like The Undertaker. You know how many times I've heard that since 1995? Like, so that alone, it lets you know that people only remember the last time they were watching and not necessarily what the business and what the brand has been doing. So I think it was really important to put Triple H over this whole weekend and to not make a mistake about it. I don't think there is such thing as putting him over too much, because if you sincerely love this weekend or the past year of wrestling, then you got him to thank for it. And I think everybody needs to know that. We've spent too long blaming the I guess the treacherous three, right? We've gone too long with blaming Vince McMahon, blaming Bruce Pritchard, and blaming Eric Bischoff for everything bad in wrestling. Obviously, y'all go further back, you got to include Vince Russo, but at least those three got along to work together twice. Yeah. So now, no excuses. You fuck with wrestling, hey, it's because of that guy. Like right now. You know what I'm saying? We know how you got here. But moving forward, this is what it is. I thought that was very important, and I think they did a really good job at that.
Yeah, I think they did what needed to be done. They needed to show that this is Paul Levesque's time, and the only thing I didn't like, is only one thing that I didn't like, is that Cody took time out of his championship celebration to say, hey, yo, I got to bring down these two people. It was like, were they waiting on somebody or something? I didn't need to see Bruce Pritchard or Triple H at that moment. Like, nah, this is your moment. I got it. But that's
Yeah.
when I was like, y'all teetering. Y'all teetering a little bit. But I understood it. But it was just like, yo, like as a wrestler, I think Triple H probably too was like,
Yeah.
you gotta come out here for this. But I
Yeah.
get it or whatever. But I was cool with 99.9%
Yeah.
of everything that happened with putting Triple H over this weekend, because it does set the bar high. If this is what we're going to get, then we're gonna get a renaissance. Also, I heard the term pro wrestling way more tonight. Hell, way more in the last 10 minutes of that broadcast than I've had in quite some time in the WWE. It was a clear switch, even though this is sports and entertainment. Even though in the intro it says sports and entertainment, it is clear to me that the wrestler's wrestler is Triple H. I've always said that. For everything that every grief that was pointed towards Triple H, he's a wrestler's wrestler. He ain't Ric Flair. He's Arn Anderson. Like, he's the dude that really, truly loves the sport of professional wrestling. He just married into a family that's all about sports entertainment. But Triple H made it known tonight that we are all about pro wrestling. We're just doing it in a sports and entertainment way. I think that was the clincher for me, where it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, to me, all of that was just to make Tony Khan OD. I don't think anything. Cody obviously knows who's watching the program and everything that's transpired. They just trying to make Tony Khan OD. They might have succeeded. It was a hell of a weekend for the WWE. I don't think AEW can handle that, and they know they can't top it. They can't match or beat it. So throw a little more powder on the mirror there, Tony, because now I'm about to salute Bruce Pritchard and Paul Levesque after destroying a throne to kick off AEW on the show I helped create it. That's what I look at it as,
Yeah. All right, let's get into these matches real quick, man. Let's get into the first match of the night. Can't be known again. It was Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. But we got the cash in of Damian Priest, who is now the world heavyweight champion. So you know what I'm saying, you called it, you picked this one. You said that the cash in was gonna happen. So what are your thoughts on the cash in? And this, I think, is the second Puerto Rican champion.
Okay.
Pedro Morales is number one. So Damian Priest makes history as the second Puerto Rican heavyweight champion, I believe. What are your thoughts?
That's all right. Hey, man, I want to say I was ecstatic. My allergies have been killing me all weekend, but I marked out for that moment. Once I saw the purple hit the screens, I was like, you gonna do it? And I was like, I got it. And it was, look, it's great to see. Hey, look, man, I still stand by it. It was a 2023, the best wrestler that you could have been that wasn't Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes was definitely Damian Priest to me. And this is a great payoff. I think he is going to be a good champion. I don't know how long they're going to have this reign go, but I love that he got the moment. I think that moment is just a salute to all the work that he's done over the last year and a half, actually. And I thought it was a great way to kick off night two. Great way.
Yeah. I thought it was dope too. I thought the other part of it is the CM Punk. Is he healthy, or is he healthy? Was he healthy enough to do what he did, or is he healthy enough to get into the ring? And that's another person that I felt that won the weekend also. Like, I'm going to get into the who won the weekend a little bit later, but But I was thinking about who did very well for themselves this weekend. CM Punk. Like the CM Punk reclamation project, WWE reclamation project is working, all right, between both parties. Both parties was putting each other over. Even AJ Styles was like, yo, I was nervous hearing some of the shit that was coming out the other company because the homies is over there.
Right.
But he actually cool.
Yeah.
So I thought that was dope, and it is good to see in this case because, CM Punk is still one of the biggest people in professional wrestling, and the needle moves to the point that I'm interested to see what happens on AEW on Friday. They released the footage of the fight that is really like, why are you doing this? All right, let's go to the Pride versus the Final Testament. What was your thoughts about the 6-man Philadelphia street fight?
Now you know what? Hey, look, as I look at this, I was actually happy about that. I was happy that one of the Street Profits finally won a match. That's what I was really happy about. And I think Bobby Lashley represented in the black market the right way. Anytime, and I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it because I don't want to wait to his Hall of Fame speech. Anytime we see Bobby Lashley out there, man, we better, our hearts better smile, man. Bobby Lashley, even without winning world titles and things of that nature, he is just walking black wrestling history every single time we see him, man. And I'm just happy that, 2 decades have went by and a name like Bobby Lashley is ringing off the same way a Triple H rings off, the way a John Cena rings off. You know what I'm saying? A way where it's like, that's a former world champion, a former multiple world champion. That's like, he wasn't just a guy, a mid-carder. Like, he is wrestling royalty in a lot of sense of the word. And I love that Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, Corey Graves, they all speak of it that way. It's reverence when they talk about Bobby Lashley, and not for a moment in time. And I think that's just super important. So to see him get another victory at another WrestleMania, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. We should all see it. We should register it. We should respect it because it's one of the best things we've ever seen. And we don't even know it yet.
I got to look, because we are who we are. Because we are who we are. Because we are who we are. Let me get my I told you so out the way.
Okay.
Let me get my told you so out the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna read something to you, Kemp, and you go back to the text group. We're pivoting real quick because of rap shit.
Oh, okay.
This is from Dreamville tonight. Cut the promo. This is from Dreamville tonight. J. Cole says taking shots at Kendrick didn't sit right with his spirit, and that is one of the greatest ever. He said the diss towards Kendrick feels lame and goofy to him thinking back. Past 2 days felt terrible. What did I tell niggas? He didn't want to do that shit.
Yeah,
told niggas he didn't want to do that shit. Told niggas.
Hey, man. Yuck. Yuck.
What I tell niggas? What I tell niggas? What I tell, man, boy, man. I can't wait to some dude on Tuesday. I'm cutting a promo on all of you hip-hop wannabe ass talking ass niggas who was not listening to me, trying to say, hey, this is the first battle. This is the first part of the battle. It was a jab. No, nigga. The nigga didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it.
It's wild that he makes this video like he's not in control of his own career, though. That's what I'm super confused by. Like, yo, you in control. You didn't have to. You didn't have to. We didn't even think the song was all about you. We didn't think the Like That verse was all about you. You didn't have to do this, Cole. You didn't have to. Hey. Well, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. The response, that is disappointing. I'm gonna watch this though. I'm gonna watch this when we get
nigga. I'm cutting a promo, boy.
Oh,
all right, let's get back to this wrestling real quick. Y'all tune into Some Dude Pod because niggas was trying to argue me up and fucking down.
Oh yeah, about exactly.
Niggas was trying to argue me fucking down. This is the first. This is a jab. First of all, y'all was getting y'all fucking boxing references wrong, nigga. A jab is a punch. But we gonna get into that on Some Dude. Y'all be ready. I am cutting a fucking promo out this world. It's gonna be one of the best episodes of Some Dude Pod ever. And shit, fuck. I'm telling y'all it's gonna be amazing. Let's get back to WrestleMania real quick.
Yeah.
I love the Pride versus the Final Testament. I had no expectations for this match. I don't love it just because the expectations was low. One, I love it anyway because that made it official. No black person lost at WrestleMania this year.
Okay.
Not one. Not one.
That's what I'm gonna say.
in a WrestleMania that saw Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
And in a WrestleMania that saw the Pride. And in a WrestleMania, you saw R-Truth win the tag team championships. Mm-hmm. This was WrestleMania's black.
Yeah. Hey, even the biracial black person won when The Rock got the pin on Cody in night one.
Exactly. So, look. Hey, this was our weekend, y'all. This was our weekend. So I was not mad at all because we went undefeated this weekend. So shouts out to that. And then plus, I mean, even though I'm not joking, first of all, I'm glad that happened. But to me, it also put Bobby Lashley as next. Here's my guaranteed hope. I don't care if he wins or not. Because I don't want the belt to fall off of Cody so quickly. And also, if Triple H is showing me anything, he's not for the short title reigns. Like, because you look at everybody who lost the belt, they lost the belt after long-ass title reigns. He's not about dropping the belt so quickly. So I'm not saying Cody is about to have a Hogan reign. No. What I'm saying is Cody going to have this motherfucker probably for the rest of the year at least.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley is up next for a world title shot. I don't give a damn if it's against Damian Priest. I don't give a damn if it's Cody Rhodes. But Bobby Lashley is next in line for a title shot. And Gunther is behind him. So with him winning at WrestleMania with his crew, mark it down. Bobby Lashley deserves a title shot. It is a long time coming, and it needs to happen next. So that's why I'm also glad that this happened. Let's move on to for me, it might not have been match of the night, but it was a dope ass match. And I think it was very important for this man's career going forward. And you can have a conversation that he should be next up for a title shot too. LA Knight, versus AJ Styles. You picked that one for LA Knight and said this was a must win for LA Knight. I think that not only that you was right, but he had to have a great performance, and I think he did have that. What was your thoughts on that match?
No, absolutely. Everything that I felt LA Knight should have done, he did. And man, now again, we restart. Hey, listen, with a Seth Rollins and with a Roman Reigns out of the way, that does also boost his stock up. There is a new Intercontinental champion, but, we have the same U.S. champion. Honestly, I don't think they should rehash the LA Knight Logan Paul thing, but it does make sense. He needs to string together another win like that. Look, beating AJ Styles at WrestleMania is a big deal. It's his first WrestleMania too. And although it was his first WrestleMania, it was must win. So I am looking for LA Knight to just have a much better year of winning more matches. You know, they try to throw him in that bloodline mix, and then you just get in the trick bag of just L's because they got to maintain that storyline above all. Tonight, I think it proved that LA Knight is still legit. You know what I'm saying? No matter what name you call him. And he can make for a great story, and he can make for a great match and moment. But I do think that he needs 3 more of these before we talk world title, even like I guess series, like best of 3 type of deal.
Man, I am going to say that he needed this match. He got it, and it was done in a way that also put him over nicely. Like, the match between them two was stiff, and it was paused, and it was just going back and forth. It was man. It was needed for him. I think we was all questioning if all of this was pomp and circumstance. If it was just the fans just like, oh, we just love this person. You've been there on the forefront. So I think it was needed at the grandest stage of them all. He got it done. Shouts out to my man Lawrence Alexander Knight. Great job on that. Logan Paul, I learned who I Show Speed is today, y'all. I felt like the old nigga. Let me just say this.
I have no clue who the fuck that was.
My son was like, yo, I think this KSI. But then he was like, no, I don't think that's KSI. I think that's I Show Speed. And I'm like, who in the fuck is you talking about? Like, I Show Speed, is he fast? Like, does he run? Who you talking about? So then when he took his face off, the pop of the night was in my house. Pop of the night was my son, like, holy crap, it's I Show Speed. I'm like, who is this nigga? Like, right. Oh no. He was like, he's a streamer. I was like, oh, the streamer about to get his ass kicked because he yelling fuck in Randy Orton's face. And Randy Orton is going to protect the business by whooping this dude ass. And he did. Right. So what was your thoughts? All right, now Logan Paul, we did both pick Logan Paul to win. Yeah. It was just that we said that Randy Orton was going to get the pin. Yeah. What was your thoughts on the match though?
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I was really pessimistic during this match when I saw Sami Zayn ass creeping on a gorilla over there. He almost pissed me off for the rest of the night. I want to make that clear. When I saw Sami Zayn talking about this, your turn. Hey, man, don't be fucking up my predictions again, bro. I damn near clean swept night 1, and here come your ass. But I'll say this, man, Logan Paul is phenomenal, man. And we can I think it's easy to say, oh, well, he out there with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, but no, it's not. We've seen other people with these guys that don't look as good as Logan Paul. Logan Paul is just a natural sports entertainer and a pro wrestler, man. I thought the match was really good. It's really good. I can't say that I dislike any match with Logan Paul in it. I expect certain things from Kevin Owens. I expect certain things from Randy Orton. So everything about this match, it was just like, hey, look, if you want to know how just seamless wrestling can be, I would tell somebody to watch any of those 3 or watch that match. Like, that's just how wrestling can go on any given night. Like, you might see something super dope, something super awkward or crazy. You'll see great athleticism. You'll see power moves. You'll see innovation. Like, it's seamless. That's the word I got for it. So salute to Logan Paul. Really good match. You could argue one of the best matches of the entire weekend as well as the night. I'm not this time, but man, super dope.
Yeah, man. Again, this is one of those matches that turned out better than I thought it was gonna be. Not saying that I thought this was going to be a whack match, because I didn't. But because I had the expectations high, when it comes to these people, you tend to to be honest, you just tend to just think that just gonna be one of those good matches that we always get. So I'm thankful for that. Well, no, it turned out to be more than that. It turned out to tell a story it turned out to tell a story enough to make a prediction that says that Randy Orton and Kevin Owens will be your next SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Like, to me, it feels like that, now Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are transitional champions. And they're just holding the belts for these two. And I'm actually excited, excited for those two to actually be a tag team right now. Like, it's just something about it's almost like Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, except Matt Riddle is not the smartest tool in the shed.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens know how to work it. So I'm actually excited about them two going up against Waller and Theory for the tag team championships.
Hey, two of the people that can rarely be trusted throughout their careers forming a team. It all makes sense.
It all makes sense, right?
It all makes sense.
Bailey versus Io Sky. Man, Io Sky was beating the shit out of Bailey. Let's just say this. This was a different Io Sky that I was used to. This Io Sky was whooping the shit out of Bailey. Bailey won, but Bailey got her ass whooped. She earned it.
Hey man, listen. Io Sky went the fuck crazy tonight. She went like her contract is in negotiations. That's what she was wrestling like. She was wrestling like, no, I need way more yen than what you got on this paper right here.
Should I go even further? I'll go even further. She looked like she was wrestling for a job.
Yeah, hey,
it's like, y'all don't believe in me?
Right, yeah. Hey,
y'all sure y'all don't believe in me?
That was dope. I mean, that's when I thought that I still maybe had seen her best match at a takeover, at an NXT takeover. Oh man, she was like, man, shut up. Watch this. That was officially the best Io Sky performance I've ever seen. I've never seen her outside of the WWE like branding. So yeah, she did her yen, dog.
Yeah.
but no, she went off. That was a really good match, a really great performance by Io. I mean, obviously great performance by Bailey. Great match, man. Really great match.
Yeah. She earned every bit of that win, and she needs to get a yen. Because, man, she
whooped Bailey Paul. Ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this the Paul Levesque era. I need all of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, now to put a bow on the night, I know it's hot taking it, got to give it a little bit. But how you feeling about this WrestleMania? Like, overall, how you feeling about both nights?
All right, so if I'm packaging both nights, I can't front. I give it a 3.5. I don't know. So something about night one, it just didn't hit for me. And maybe I got to watch it over again. Night two hit instantly for me, though. Night two hit instantly. And the thing is, though, I say that about night one, but man, it started off fire, though. I can't front. Rhea versus Becky, then the tag match. Like, that was the best way to start the entire weekend. So, maybe once the prisoner of the moment and maybe the expectation leaves and I watched again, maybe it is a 4. Maybe it is a 4.5. I don't know. But Yeah, man. WrestleMania 2 nights in a row. They did it again. I can't front. That part of me does believe that this is and ascending. So maybe WrestleMania 40 is officially the best WrestleMania of all time as advertised. It's hard to deny that it's not the best 2-day WrestleMania at this moment. But again, I want to get out of the moment and maybe watch it again, see if I still feel that way. But
Okay.
I think anything less than a 3 is hating for sure.
All right, cool. I give it a 4.5. And the reason why I give it a 4.5 is because that main event. It's one of those, like, there's been WrestleManias that's been huff, but we still talk about it to this day because the main event. Like, you go watch WrestleMania 12. When you go back and watch WrestleMania 12 is huff, but it's the Iron Man. It's the Iron Man joint. And it's like you're watching it for that. I'm not saying that this WrestleMania is that, because this WrestleMania to me had a lot of quality in it. To me, now I can say the most disappointing match of the weekend is Jay versus Jimmy.
For sure.
I said on the show, if y'all listen to the podcast that we dropped today, I said that I want to wait until this match happened. This match happened. Now it's the most disappointing match of the weekend. But with that being said, that main event gave me everything and more. All right, it gave me nostalgia. It gave me a finished story, no pun intended. It gave me closure and everything, and it gave me questions. What's next for Cody Rhodes? What's next for Roman Reigns? What's next for Seth Rollins? Like, now I have legit questions that I can go and think about after WrestleMania, going into WrestleMania Monday. Like, okay, who's going to debut? Because I can tell you right now, the word on the street, word on the internet today was that Jacob Fatu has signed a deal with the WWE. Yeah. Does he go to NXT? Does he go to the main roster? Is he part of the bloodline? Tama Tonga, Haku's son, has reportedly signed a deal with the WWE weeks ago. Yeah. So he's a part of the Samoan dynasty, you know what I'm saying, through Haku. So does he, what is he? Will them two be a tag team? Like, what's going to go on there? MJF, this is 2024. Remember, that's the bidding war of 2024. We get at least one or two surprise people on Raw along with a surprise vignette. Like, so who's going to debut on Raw? Who's going to debut on SmackDown? What new storylines is going to come out of it? We got the pay-per-view coming up. We got WrestleMania, Backlash and Friends. And we got the King and the Queen in the ring. So we even have that coming up in late May. So it is a lot of questions that I have. And to me, that's the key to a great pay-per-view. If you come out of there with more questions than answers, where's the cliffhanger? The story might be finished, or no, is the story just beginning? Is the story evolving? But also, man, shouts out to the Rhodes family. Man, I ain't gonna front. Instead of Triple H, man, y'all could have sent Dustin Rhodes out there. You know what I'm saying? They should have just played Shattered Dreams and his ass just stayed at the top of the platform. And if that would have happened, nigga, that would have been. Go ahead.
You want Tony Khan to die tonight? That's what you want.
Yes.
You want die
yes, because I know he died a little bit. I know he died a little bit when Keith Lee was at the Hall of Fame looking good. All right, let me just say this: Keith Lee was he was there with his woman, so of course. But Keith Lee was at the Hall of Fame looking like he ready to come back. So hey, man. So this weekend ended with more questions than answers, but those questions build on the program. MVP of the weekend. If you had to give an MVP of the weekend, who you giving it to?
MVP of the weekend, man. I don't know. It's not that it's not anybody.
Well, I got a clear winner for you this weekend.
Really?
Yep.
You know what? Let me hear your answer. Maybe I agree.
Samantha Irvin. Fam.
Okay.
Boy, when I tell you, anytime that she made the announcement for a title match in ring, she is almost on par with the Fink.
Yeah, no, it's super fair.
She is almost on par with the Fink. And probably one of the most, I'll say it like this. A ring announcer, you can tell a ring announcer has transcended what goes on in the ring when you talk about that ring announcer.
Yeah.
To me, it's really been only two announcers that you talk about. First was just one. It's Howard Finkel, the Fink.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after tonight especially,
Mm-hmm.
Samantha Irvin is my MVP of this weekend. She
Okay.
made every match feel like a big match.
Yeah.
And the way that she announced Cody Rhodes' win,
Yeah.
I would not be shocked or surprised if she was crying when
she
she
absolutely
announced
was.
it. Because it sounded like she was
No.
broken, happy, tears, story ended, all of that. But she made every match feel like a big match. And to me, that's the third part of the whole broadcast.
Yeah.
It's the fans, outside of the wrestlers. It's the fan reaction. Now, I'm not sure about Philly. Philly fans, not sure about y'all. I don't know if it was cold outside or what, but I ain't sure about y'all. But there's the fans, there's the announcers. And Michael Cole, this week, he was killing it.
Yeah, for sure.
And he gave us tidbits to carry on. This is great for pro wrestling.
Mm.
When he said that at the end, I said, oh shit, new era. But then it's the announcer too. When you listen to the Fink, Tony Chimmel with his rated R superstar.
Yeah.
Him starting it off and then going into, I can't remember my man's name, but he was the one that was really hitting that shit. Towards the end, the rated R superstar, like those people help tell the story. And I think that Samantha Irvin, as the announcer for this weekend's WrestleMania, helped tell the story of what was going on even before the match started, and the emotion that she carried in announcing each person. She gets my MVP of the weekend because she made this like a big match feel. She did what Michael Buffer do when it's the undercard and it's like, who is these niggas? I don't know, but Michael Buffer just hit that shit and made me think that this was a big ass match, but this is the second match on the card. That's what she did this weekend. So she gets all my respect this weekend.
No, you know what? I like that pick. I like that pick. Because I think that obviously very professional, start to finish, but there were those genuine fan moments, those genuine announcements that let you know, oh no, I'm a fan of this shit. This ain't just a job for me. I love this, but this is my job. I caught a few of those moments throughout the weekend. A lot more, a couple more tonight than night one. So yeah, I respect that. I respect that. Samantha Irwin being the MVP of the weekend. Hey man, hey Gary Michael Capetta. Sorry man, you're third now, or you might be tied for second.
Shouts out to Gary Michael Capetta, fam.
You know
He's very underrated.
Absolutely.
So, but man, yeah, hey man, this was a great night for wrestling, pro wrestling, it turns out. And very anxious to see what happens tomorrow on Raw and Friday on SmackDown. Hell, even anxious to hear what happens on NXT on Tuesday and AEW on Wednesday, because apparently they are going to show the tape of what happened when the CM Punk, or they're going to show the tape of the altercation.
Hey, that is so pointless that they might as well just close. If that's what you hear me out. If that's what you're doing after what we just saw, close, bro, because that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. What you think the world about to hate CM Punk, or you're about to like split the audience in half now? No, they're gonna be like, but he was at WrestleMania in Philly and you were not. Like they should have did that when he was trying to sign his contract and they made the call. That's when they should have tried to do that. I don't understand that at all. That sounds like sour grapes. That sounds like no plan B. That sounds like we in the red. And hopefully this works. But cue the doc. Cue the doc at this point. Get the producers, get the cameras, and let's just start talking about the rise and fall of AEW, if that's what we're resorting to after WrestleMania week.
Hey, man. It's a great week for wrestling. Great weekend for wrestling. It's going to be a great week for wrestling. It's going to be a great week for wrestling podcasts. We thank y'all for tuning in for an hour to talk WrestleMania 40. Can't wait to see what happens next. And it's a good week for content, man. Because we got Cody Rhodes out here finishing the story. We got nostalgia with John Cena and The Undertaker popping up. And we got J. Cole apologizing after rap disses.
That's disappointing. That is disappointing.
Bang be knowing, can't be knowing. Look, hey, we just passing it all around, Jack.
BC be knowing, man. You know? Hey, man. Hey, like, listen, hey, look, hey, thanks for tuning into this special post show of the First Black Champ podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed WrestleMania as much as we did. Be a prisoner of these positive moments in wrestling, man. This was really great. This was really stellar. A lot of Black excellence, a lot of Black attendance, a lot of Black winning. You dig? And yeah, we shouldn't make it all about that, but hey, man, they was in Philly, so we about to do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Man, continue to watch, continue to support us, man. We appreciate it. Tony, call Vice. And if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. Camp. Bang. We are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.